Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to head back to my love to bake cookbook and hit the peanut butter and raspberry blondies. So that should be pretty tasty. The first step was to melt the butter. So I have 125 grams of unsalted butter that I am currently melting in my pot. Now, I just started it because you didn't need to watch me melt butter, but it did say to, after you melted it, to continue to cook it for another 2 minutes and swirling from time to time until it smells nutty and toasted and turns golden brown. Does butter turn golden brown if you just toast it? I mean, I guess it's definitely more golden than it was. Still kind of smells like butter though. So I'm just going to give it another minute. It's been on there about 2 minutes extra, but I'll just give it just another minute. And then I'm going to have to let that cool for a few minutes while the rest of this is going. So we'll see how that all works out. Yeah. Does it turn brown? I mean, it's definitely brighter, like a brighter color, like a yellow. And it's steaming. Who knows? I think that smells different. I can't tell you that it smells nutty, but it smells different. So it says tip it into a bowl and leave to cool. I forgot to grab a bowl. I'll just add it to this bowl, I guess. Doesn't really say. Okay, so I'm just going to let that cool right there while we keep going. My flour is my first ingredient here. I've got 200 grams of plain flour, so all-purpose flour, and I've already sifted it. If you saw in here, I've also already got baking powder in my mix as well. So I had 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm going to put that in there along with peanuts. We're using 75 grams of roasted, unsalted peanuts, roughly chopped. So those are ready to go. Light brown sugar. So I have 150 grams of light, soft brown sugar. And 50 grams of castor sugar. Now this recipe does call for golden castor sugar, but I have a hard enough time finding just white castor sugar in the States. And that's been the best substitute that I have seen on the internet, at least. Okay. And a pinch of salt. I already had the salt mixed in with my flour, and I just need to mix this thoroughly to combine. Now I need to add the chocolate chips. So it does say that you can use either white or dark chocolate or a mixture. So I have 75 grams. I have mainly white chocolate. I literally just had like 10 grams of dark chocolate in here. But I like white chocolate better. So that's why I chose to do that combination. I also think it's going to taste better with peanut butter and raspberries. Because again, I like the raspberry white chocolate combination. And it says to use freeze-dried raspberry pieces, but those are optional. I'm opting to not use them because I only needed a tablespoon, and it just seemed like a lot to buy for just a tablespoon of that. So yeah, and I assume I need to mix this. It doesn't really say. Okay. I mean, it's not like it needs to mix in all that hard. And now I'm going to go back to my butter. So it's been a couple minutes, so hopefully my butter is cool enough. I need to add my 75 grams of peanut butter to my butter. Now this is crunchy. You could use either one, it said, crunchy or smooth. I just elected for crunchy. If you don't like crunchy, which I don't typically, but we already have peanut pieces in here, so I figured why not crunchy? And I just need to mix that along with the eggs and vanilla paste. So I probably should have used a bigger bowl, but I didn't. So I'm again one to save on dishes whenever possible. So, yeah, it's my bad. My thing is, though, I probably need a whisk or something. I'm going to need a different bowl. So now in the process of trying to save dishes, I've actually made more because now I have this cereal bowl that I didn't need. Oh well. Okay. So I've got peanut butter. I've got my eggs. What else did I say in there? Vanilla paste. So I need another teaspoon of vanilla paste in today's recipe. I actually really like this vanilla paste stuff. It's making some really good flavors. Not that I think that it's only the vanilla paste making these flavors, but I don't know. It just gives it a very rich taste. So it's nice. All right. Now I'm going to have to whisk this. All right. Combine. Add to the dry ingredients and mix to combine. All right. So I'm just going to pour this right on in and mix. That feels to be pretty mixed. Now, it is thicker than a regular brownie mix, which it does state in the directions that it should be. I have my pan ready to go. It's already greased and lined. It does call for a 20 centimeter square baking tray bake. Just a different name, I guess. I have a 23 centimeter square because apparently 9 inches is way more common than 8 inches in the States. Not that we don't have them. This is just what I had. And I just didn't want to go buy a different tray for 1 inch or 3 centimeters. So I hope that doesn't really screw me over, but it probably will. It'll just be a little thinner than what they call for, which I'll just pay attention to when I bake it. It might be just a minute shorter. Now I need to press this. Yeah, spread level basically. So it's going to end up pressing it. There's a lot of really good smells right now. It's a lot of peanuts, peanut butter. I'm really curious about the combination of the peanut butter and the raspberries. I guess I've never had anything that combined those two. You know, with the raspberry white chocolate cake I did, that was a pretty obvious combination to me. And there's white chocolate in here, but peanut butter and white raspberries is curious. Now, we're not done yet. We are going to kind of make this a little bit more fun on the top. So using a teaspoon, it says make 16 evenly spaced indents in the brownie mixture so that there will be 1 indent in the center of each blondie. So I somehow have to make this really pretty and make exactly 16, so 4 by 4. Okay, can you see those? You can kind of see some of them, I think, but yeah. All right, so we've got my 16 evenly spaced indents. Spoon half a teaspoon of peanut butter into each indent. So I need a little bit more of my peanut butter. Half a teaspoon. I need probably another spoon to, yeah, we'll just do this. Okay, half a teaspoon. All right, so I've got my peanut butter. Now let's see, followed by half a teaspoon of raspberry jam. I have now got 4 different flavors of jam in my house. Good thing my family likes jam. Okay, half a teaspoon of raspberry. Interesting. I haven't bought this kind of preserve or jam before. So we'll see how that goes. Looked good. Some of those definitely have a little bit more or a little bit less than half a teaspoon of peanut butter and or raspberry jam. Oh well, it's not really going to affect it too much, I imagine. All right, and now I need to top with a fresh raspberry. Okay, so I'm just going to, I don't know if it necessarily matters how it's lying. I'm going to kind of smush it down. I probably should have made my wells a little bit bigger. They're looking a little not very well-like at this point after putting in enough jam and peanut butter. Those look pretty good. And then the last piece de resistance is to sprinkle with a little bit of my extra peanuts that I had roughly chopped. I guess I just sprinkle it all over because I'm not really going to get them to stick on top of the raspberry. So anyway. All right. Oh, and there goes my oven. Perfect. I do have my oven set to 390 degrees Fahrenheit because that is 200 degrees Celsius. Again, comes with all sorts of other 180 degrees Celsius fan and gas 6. If that means anything to you, great. It means nothing to me. I mean, I assume the fan is like a convection oven, but I don't have those. All right. There they are. They're looking good. And we're going to bake these for 22 to 24 minutes. I'm going to set it for 20 minutes probably just so I can check them because my pan is a little bit bigger. But there should be firm, risen, and golden brown. Okay, it's been just over 23 minutes, but I think they're done. So it took the 22 to 24. There we go. They're definitely golden brown. And my issue was with the firm. I'm not really sure. I mean, because it's baking, so it's not like, I don't know. It's not like it's going to come out like cooled and, ready to go. Because we need to let them cool completely before I can cut them. That's hard for me. Patience is not my strong suit, especially when it comes to tasting foods. But I'm going to let them cool completely before we cut them and taste one. Okay, guys, the raspberry blondies are cool. It's a peanut butter raspberry blondies. So I've got a couple cut out. They cut out really nicely, actually. A lot better than my brownies did when I made those. Probably because I let these cool. But anyway, let's give one a taste. They look pretty cute. The jam kind of melted and then, I don't know, gave it a nice little look. All right, let's give it a taste. That's really good. It's got the texture of a brownie, so it's a little more gooey than like a cake would be, which is perfect. Like I said, these were in about 23 minutes. Yeah. White chocolate, peanut butter. That's the flavor. I'm going to get a bite of the raspberry. Okay. That's really good. I really like these. Okay. Peanut butter, raspberry, white chocolate. Surprisingly, very good flavors in those little bars. All right, but that is the latest bake on my Great British Baking Show Love to Bake cookbook. If you like this, please go ahead and like, subscribe, share it with some of your friends, and go check out some of my other videos. There are some really good ones. And as always, I will see you next bake.